Bray Wyatt got let go, but more importantly, The Fiend got let go from the WWE. Like, not since The Undertaker has a character taken over TV screens like The Fiend.
Like why would you release a character who gave you so much, legitimately
He gave them so much.
I feel like Vince is going to eat his words.
I actually think the Dark Order might welcome a new leader.
Hold on. We'll see. The juice is loose with Juventud Guerrero.
How do the Labours of Jericho end?
It's almost like he's going through every phase of his career in a way.
And they're pretty brutal. Getting the pizza cutter and literally cutting across Chris Jericho's forehead. Insane. Like, that's so reminiscent of ECW. This should end with Jericho versus Lance Storm. They both broke into this business together, and they both have a pact that they're gonna have their last match together.
Good God. TK! Boy, let me tell you.
Oh my goodness, the Dark Order saying that you don't necessarily need a hat to be a cowboy, only to be superseded by the Elite Squad coming out, pumping the jam, dribbling some basketball, dunking some hoops.
I know.
What better entrances can you get? Kenny Omega, like, couldn't even dribble the ball.
They're the cool kids of the block, and then you see them and you're like, oh, you guys are just little dorks.
But these dorks ended up beating Hangman.
You just got to trust the process.
No. What is up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Weekly Finisher. My name is Beefy Supreme.
Beef Supremo!
And to my left is a dashy debonair out of D-Town Love, A-Style.
What's up? What's good? It's your boy, A-Style.
What is going on? My headgear is all over the place. We are going to talk all things wrestling here on the Weekly Finisher. I am excited to start off the show talking about Chris Jericho and the Labours of Jericho. Jericho is going through these phases in order to take on MJF. Labor number one, he took on Shawn Spears. Labor number two, we got to see him go one-on-one against Nick Gage in a hardcore match. We saw everything go out the window. We even got some pizza cutters make an appearance. Ace, what do you think of Jericho's journey here, and where do you think it's going?
Let me tell you something. Can I just say that the Jericho, this whole feud, no, matter of fact, this whole 2 years, Jericho has been having his Hall of Fame worthy, almost, if dare I say it, the best run he has ever had in his career.
You can't say stuff like that.
Why can't I not?
This man defeated The Rock and Stone Cold in the same week. What is it like? You
did.
Can't talk like this.
Yes, he did. But let me tell you something. This man has done so much in these last 2 years. I'm sorry. Yes, he beat The Rock and Jericho, but then he lost it to Triple H. And
oh my God, he won my God.
No, the whole point is even with him losing the AEW Championship belt, the man continues to strive, and he just like we talked about it right now. The way you introduced it, this no rules match with Nick Cage, my God, like come on, man, they threw everything but the kitchen sink.
I will say it's kind of interesting. Last week we ended the show with a hardcore match with Jon Moxley and Lance Archer. This week we have another hardcore match during the night, and they're pretty brutal. The highlight of the night is Nick Gage getting the pizza cutter and literally cutting across Chris Jericho's forehead. That's insane. Like, that's so reminiscent of ECW. And to end, like, on primetime, to end a show like that, it's pretty dastardly, man.
I know, it's live on TNT, and it's huge that, and this is what I'm saying, right? We talked about this before. AEW has a spectrum of wrestling throughout its show. And Jericho, this is why I say Jericho arguably is having his best run, because Jericho, since the inception of AEW, he has had every single type of match known to man, and he's in that match. Like what else do you like? He's done Stadium Stampede. The other one, he has done so many matches. He had
the the Mimosa?
Yeah, the Mimosa Mayhem match.
Yeah,
like
this goes to The Rock and Stone Cold. You're ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's a huge accolade, but I'm telling you, the overall run, come on. In WWE, he kept being paired with women and with Chyna or Stephanie. He never had his own little thing. He always had to be put over by somebody else. This is the first time where Jericho's like actually being Jericho and doing his own thing.
I think you're completely dismissing his WWE era. It was a long, long era. But I will say, just like I mentioned, it's been 2 weeks in a row of a hardcore match to main event. It's also been the third week in a row that we have over 1 million viewers. So obviously it's working. Obviously this Labour of Jericho situation is working out well.
Yeah.
I personally think, I kind of know where this is going, but I want to know what you think. Because to end the night, we had MJF come out and announce that next week, Jericho will take on Juventud Guerrera. And we got to see a highlight, something that AEW does really well. If you pay attention, you get rewarded with it. And we saw a promo where he got called out in the past saying, who the hell's Juventud Guerrera? And he told him to Google it. So he Googled it. We get it now, and we're going to get that match next week. What do you think?
Isn't that just an awesome piece? Isn't that like an awesome just a callback to like, man, thank you for watching us and being like, yo, you know what? Because you kept with us, we're bringing back that little tidbit. It's so great, man. It's so great that they're connecting the dots, they're connecting the pieces. It's so freaking cool. It's so freaking awesome. I can't wait to see the juice. The juice is loose with Juventud Guerrero. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
So where do you think that goes beyond Juventud Guerrera? Like, how does this end? How do the Labours of Jericho end, in Ace's opinion?
It's almost like he's going through every phase of his career in a way, right? He had the whole ECW match with Nick Gage, and now we're going like arguably one of his best matches in WCW. I think we might see a New Japan Pro Wrestler coming back and maybe having him viewed. I could probably see maybe a Naito or a Tanahashi probably coming
back. They're going to come just for a Labour of Jericho? My goodness.
I mean, maybe. You never know. But maybe
these are big stars. What do you think?
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. It's going to be I'm thinking we're going to continue going back, a blast from the past. And again, something's going to go down.
I actually agree with that. I told you this. There's been speculation that Jericho's going to walk away for a bit because he's going to go back on tour. I'm not exactly sure when he plans to come back. So I kind of see it as a mini retirement tour of Jericho. And I actually think instead of New Japan, we have yet to see him have like a WWE callback here. So I feel like we're going to get Juventud Guerrera to call back to his WCW days. Classic matches with Juvi back in 97, 98. Go back and look at those. Like Juventud, Super Calo, Psychosis. All these guys were like tearing it up in WCW with Jericho. So that's a great callback. I actually see someone like maybe Rob Van Dam coming back and giving him like a WWE type of match. And in my opinion, this should end with Jericho versus Lance Storm. I think that is a way to end this. They both broke into this business together. Back in I'm not sure if together. I know Lance Storm broke in with help with Jericho in Canada, in the upstate New York area. And they were both in ECW. Lance Storm with a great career there with Just Incredible. Jericho, a great career there as well. And they're both former Intercontinental Champions in the WWE. So these are both great wrestlers that really respect each other. And they both have a pact that they're going to have their last match together. So at a minimum, I think this could be Lance Storm's final match. Doesn't that sound nice?
Can ladies and gentlemen, those of you who watch it, are you listening to the pin being written right now? The pin is in Beef Supreme's hands, and he's booking and he's writing. And good God, TK, if you need a booker, call Beef Supreme, because that hand, boy, let me tell you,
I've been telling you for years, it's a powerful hand, Ace. It's a powerful hand. That sounds nice, right? And I don't know. I personally think MJF could then go on and beat Jericho. And then MJF could kind of get his stock risen up while Jericho's gone. And then he'll come back and do a great classic rematch. I think that sounds excellent.
I think that's great. That's what I'm saying. I think everything that you're saying right now, I am loving the way you're booking this. Your pen is looking damn good right about now. I like this a lot. This is what I'm telling you, man. You don't agree with me, but this is arguably his best run.
I'm going to leave that up for debate. I actually want anyone that's watching this to comment whether you think this is Jericho's best run, because his career has spanned a lifetime. But I want to change the pace here. I want to pump up the jam, Ace. I want to talk about the Elite Squad versus the Dark Order to start off the episode of Dynamite this week. My goodness, can I just say, phenomenal match, but even better, phenomenal entrances. Oh my goodness, the Dark Order with the great promo to start off the night, saying that you don't necessarily need a hat to be a cowboy, with a shadow over the Dark Order, him wearing purple, Hangman wearing purple, only to be superseded by the Elite Squad coming out, pumping the jam, dribbling some basketball, dunking some hoops.
I know.
What better entrances can you get?
It's so cool because I was not expecting this. I knew the match was going to be awesome. I knew the match was going to deliver because a Young Bucks match, a Canadian match, always delivers. But the added detail to the entrances, my God Almighty, that just elevated the match entirely. It's so good, and I love that we got that. I love that we got these entrances. I love that we got this culmination of this matchup. I'm loving this. I'm loving that they get the free realm. The Super Elite, though, I just want to say the best faction going right now in all of professional wrestling.
I think it's cool how much they've, we had, I can't even remember his name. Haku's son had a match with Lawrence Archer, and he's part of the Bullet Club. I think the Bullet Club is so, like, dated at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks did such a great job, like, going beyond that, and now the Elite is like something special and different and fresh. To me, them coming out, it was funny because Kenny Omega like couldn't even dribble the ball. These are guys that are dorky, they're fun, and it kind of reminds me of like the cool kids that like in 8th grade, 7th grade, they're like the coolest kids. And then they go to freshman year and like reality hits them and they're losers. And they have to like that's what they feel like, they think they're cool. But then you get to high school and you're not that cool. You got to refresh your stock again. I love them. I think that's great.
I love this analogy. This analogy is so great because that's exactly what they are. They're the cool kids of the block, and then you see them and you're like, oh, you guys are just little dorks.
You're actually dorks. Yeah. But these dorks ended up beating Hangman. I found it fascinating. The match kept eliminating people as it went along. And the final 2 people were Nick Jackson and Kenny Omega against Hangman. One thing I found fascinating is that it was Nick Jackson and not Matt Jackson. That's weird to me because Matt seems to be the bigger issue. And the other issue is that it just ended. Like both of them just ended up beating Hangman. And so now I saw so many people that were deflated, so many people that are confused. And now reports are coming out that this isn't going to culminate at All Out. I personally hate that. And I am so annoyed and furious at that. I want to know your take.
Your take is, and I'm gonna be a straight shooter with this segment because I understand the frustration because fans have been clamoring for Hangman Page to dethrone Kenny Omega. But here's the situation: that's still going to happen. It's still, the writing is still on the wall. It's still going to be Hangman Page. Okay, Hangman Page isn't going nowhere, and this is why I'm saying where. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, it's okay that it's not going to be at All Out. The reason why I say that is because just last year, we had Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega in December, right? So we still have so much.
November,
yeah, but we still have. I remember December, but whatever.
It was Full Gear, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was Full Gear, and it was also they had like Winter is Here type deal.
Oh, did they have? Okay, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, so they fought multiple times. That's what I'm saying. Where I feel like there's still so much to tell with this story that I understand that we were already projecting ourselves about All Out, but to me, I feel like that match is so big that it could honestly be saved for another bigger event.
Here's my thing. We weren't projecting ourselves. This is where they were leading us. This is a little reminiscent of Daniel Bryan, where you have the company saying, hey, you guys were leading yourselves into thinking that Daniel Bryan was supposed to main event. And, that's not our fault. And the fans are like, what the hell? That's not us. You led us that way. He's getting responses. He's getting cheers. He's a top guy. Why wouldn't he main event? I don't get why you wouldn't reward us with Hangman. I kind of do get it. And it feels a little WWE-ish. I want to know, if you're okay with this, then what the hell do we main event All Out with? Like,
well, this is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying. I just feel like it's not the right time for Hangman to beat Kenny Omega. Does that make sense?
Whose time is it?
It's nobody's time. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, whose time is it to main event against Hangman? Like, it's somebody's time.
It is somebody's time. It is going to be Hangman's time, but just not yet. And I tell you what, I just feel like All Out, as granted it's going to be, it's still going to be at the Sears Center. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that match could sell out an arena full of
So
fans.
who main events All Out? That's my
To
question to you.
me, it could be Christian. It could be maybe a Daniel Bryan, whatever, right? And
Why would? But that feels WWE-ish. Why would you reward someone that's not ranked?
But that's what. But that's what I'm. But that's what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying though. I don't. I know as of this moment, AEW has not pulled a fast one under our eyes. Okay, number one. Number two, I'm telling you this. You just gotta trust the process.
No, that's terrible. Can I tell you? I know you don't watch sports a lot, but that was exactly what happened with the 76ers. They did terrible trades, they did terrible signings, and they told everyone, trust the process. And that all went to hell. They had
on them.
They had their players buy into that system as well. And you know what? It hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out. Giannis beat them, Kawhi beat them, and like they haven't even made the finals. Trust the process is something that you say when you actually don't have a plan in mind. I actually think you're right. AEW hasn't strayed. Fine. They've kind of done a good job booking. But AEW has never had giant stars signed like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. And I am nervous that they are botching this because that would be wrong, man. We go by rankings here. We go by rankings, and Hangman Page is the highest ranked wrestler right now. This is wrong.
It is. But in the storyline wise, he lost his shot, right? So again,
he lost his shot because he lost. Yes, but again, you know, the second person is, I believe, Orange Cassidy. So again, who main events All Out? Like, this is dumb. You have to. It's a big pay-per-view.
I get what you're saying. I get what, and trust me, because
you sound like HR Ace.
I'm not trying to sound like HR. I'm just trying to get you to understand that the way I see it, the way I view it, I don't see Kenny Omega being like, yeah, I'm gonna drop the title to Christian. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the title to CM Punk. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the title to Daniel Bryan. He's not gonna do that. Kenny is not gonna do that. Kenny's just not gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna drop it to these new part-timers. He's not gonna do that.
But I'm not talking about dropping. These people shouldn't be fighting for the title because they're not ranked, is my point. We have a process here in AEW that we treated like real sports. And right now, if you tell me that Hangman is not going to get a title shot, then the next person that comes up is Orange Cassidy. And I'm sorry, there's no feud there for a big pay-per-view. We are botching this terribly.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. We still have a month to go until September. Do you see what I'm saying? We still have a month to go. So we're not even there yet. We're not,
but you as a big fan just suggested that maybe Christian or Daniel Bryan take the spot. It shows me that we are screwed, man.
And we're not screwed. And I'm telling you why. Just trust. I'm telling you right now. They're not going to pull a fast one under our eyes. Trust me. It's going to be okay. It's still going to be Hangman Page. And I guarantee you when that happens, boom. Boom.
Boom.
That's all. I understand what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. Look. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But here's the situation. And this is why I say, because look what happened this past Wednesday, right? We had we even talked about this last show, right? We were talking about Daniel Bryan, we were talking about CM Punk, and I'm guessing Darby Allin watched the show because in the backstage segment, he said, yo, you know what? If you want to test your strength, if you want to know if you're the best in the world, Darby Allin said, you got to prove it here. And let me tell you something. That felt like a straight shot to our boy, CM Punky.
Can I just say, how much weight does CM Punk carry? I know you have dissed on this man for a bit, and I understand he's hurt her feelings throughout the years. This man, I'm telling you, he has such a loyal fan base. He's not even announced. Like, we are still speculating. We don't even know if these people might show up. But yet, by just shooting out a challenge and saying, I'll take on anyone that's the best in the world, tickets sold out, man. Tickets are selling out.
I know. They've already sold 10,000 seats.
And by the way, this is for the event for Rampage before the pay-per-view. And Tony Schiavone came out and announced it and called it the first dance. So it feels like we might get CM Punk before All Out. It feels like we're going to get him at Rampage or even maybe Dynamite before. I think it's insane how much these two guys are able to carry this. Darby is a proven commodity, and I think it's interesting that this is where this is going. We've said this before. Darby Allin has main evented a lot of Dynamites with events that have ranked over 1 million viewers. They have a lot of confidence in him.
And this is why I say, if you watched the show last week, and if you didn't, go back and watch it, because we broke down this show, all of the different pieces of why we believe it's CM Punk, right? I have to say, watching this on screen reminds me of me watching either WandaVision or a Doctor Strange. Why? Because we're pulling the pieces together, and it feels like we're trying to figure out who's going to come out, who's going to be the main villain, stuff like that. We're connecting the dots. This past Wednesday, now with the last dance being called for the Rampage, and now Darby Allin.
The first dance, baby, the first dance.
Sorry, the first dance, and then everything else. You can see where we're slowly figuring out if it's going to be CM Punk. And I have to agree with Beefy Supreme, because once that happened, now we're understanding that Darby Allin is the draw. Darby Allin, and we talked about this on the show, and even Beefy Supreme touched on a little bit. He has every time he's the main event, that man hits that 1 million. That man always hits that 1 million, and it's the highest rating segment of the show. So I can clearly see Darby Allin coming out on Rampage and saying, "This is the new show, and I'm gonna be the measuring stick." And all we hear is CM Punk's entrance, and the place becomes unglued.
It's gonna be electric. And as far as I'm aware, I think they're gonna have the event at the United Center on Rampage, which again holds up to 10,000, maybe even more people. It's ridiculous how much the lead up is going to be going into All Out. Like, we have big moments happening. And while everything is going up in AEW, WWE is going through some weird stretches, man. It just got announced this weekend that Bray Wyatt has been released from the WWE. Bray Wyatt has been wished his future endeavors, and that is shocking to me, Ace. I have nothing to make out of this. Like, what are your thoughts?
This is my thing, right? The more I look at WWE as a whole, the more I just feel like there really isn't nothing for me to watch WWE. And I've said this before, but now more than ever, I say it now, but now more than ever, I legitimately just feel like if you're a wrestler in the back, why are you pushing yourself to be the best? I honestly tell you to just get in there, clock in and clock out, and call it a day. Legit. And I'm telling you this why? Because why are you offering yourself? Like, why are you giving yourself? Why why are you doing yourself this? Like why are you why would you release a character who gave you so much? You've legitimately invested.
He gave them so much.
This is what I'm saying. Like, why did you gave this character so much investment? You gave him a new title belt. You gave him so much, and then now you're like, Savage Kid, it didn't work. What?
That is terrible. To me,
it didn't work. Fam, what are you talking about?
Bray Wyatt got let go, but more importantly, The Fiend got let go from the WWE. Like, this is the hottest thing I have ever seen in my life. Like, not since The Undertaker has a character taken over TV screens like The Fiend. Like, his debut was shocking. Like, it was so surreal and different. I saw people that didn't see wrestling, like, talk about it. It's insane. I will say, you say, like, clock in, clock out. I think wrestlers are wrestlers because they're creative people. It's still art. Wrestling is art.
This is what I'm
saying. I feel like people want to do art. I still think Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, did an excellent job with his character and making the most out of it with very memorable moments. I personally think something is going on where I've never seen big wrestlers get released like this. Something is going on backstage that we're not aware of. It's a bit surreal to me.
But this is what I'm saying. There's nothing going on backstage, fam. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. There really is nothing going on backstage. It legitimately is. Creative has nothing for you. We put some bad booking, and there's nothing else we got. That's it. So
you let go
legitimately,
of the
that's
Fiend?
it.
I don't.
Because you give me a reason why they let go of somebody on the calendar that is The Fiend.
It's pure speculation, but there have been a lot of people mention that, Bray Wyatt took Brody Lee's death pretty hard, and that it affected him. Again, this pure speculation, and it would be unfair for us to say that that's the reason, but that's been mentioned out there, especially now that this release happened. It's shocking. So I don't know if the Fiend is there, like if he feels interested in being in the ring. Maybe he himself wanted a break. I think something, this in itself, to me, you can't put it in a basket by itself. They also let go of Braun Strowman. They also let go of Samoa Joe initially. Like, these are shocking releases.
But that's what I'm saying. This is why the more I look at the spectrum that is WWE, if I'm a wrestler and I'm working for this company, why am I giving you the effort when I don't have a guarantee that you can give it back to me?
Well, I think that's what I mean. Wrestlers are creative. Like, I don't care if you don't help me. Like, I'm gonna put out my best.
So why would you go to WWE when your creativity is going to be stampled on? You see what I'm saying?
Would you say Bray Wyatt's creativity was stifled? Because I think he did some of the best TV I've ever seen.
I mean, if we're looking back at this past WrestleMania, that match felt flat.
No, that match was phenomenal.
The fact that he lost, the fact that he lost to Randy Orton.
You didn't say the result. The match itself was.
Oh wow, the match itself was phenomenal. But no,
because if we look at Sting's career in the WWE, those were phenomenal moments and great matches. But we hate the results, right? I feel like with Bray Wyatt,
that's what I'm saying though.
He put over Alexa. Like he did a great job.
No, Alexa stole his gimmick, fam. That's exactly what happened. They gave her a copycat gimmick.
Yeah, but she got the rub, the help because of Bray Wyatt.
But did she really need the rub though?
Well, whether she needs it or not, I'm not sure. But I feel like she doesn't have this next phase in her career without Bray Wyatt's influence. So I feel like he did his job. He did a great job. I just don't buy that. That's the reason. I feel like there has to be something else here that's either just budgetary. I think Bray Wyatt is a really special talent, and he's shown it. He's been around, I think, pretty much a decade at this point.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it sucks because I feel like he could have done so much more. And again, this is all speculation on why exactly it happened. And again, more news is going to come out about it. But it really just puts it just deflates you as a fan watching, because you're like, well, now who's next? Is it going to be Kevin Owens? God forbid. Is it going to be Sami Zayn? Is it going to be the Finn Balor?
Well, going along with this, we just had the quarter annual conference call with Vince McMahon, and it was reported, I believe there's audio, I haven't personally heard the audio, but during the conference, Vince McMahon made the comments in regards to AEW that he does not see AEW as competition the same way that he saw WCW. He said WCW had Ted Turner's assets behind him, all of Warner, and to him that was different.
Vince McMahon told us all blatantly, because apparently he don't care, but he basically was like, yeah, we don't see AEW as competition. And then he made another comment saying that, honestly, we might as well just give them more talent if that's the case. And I get it might be a joke. Maybe he was trying to get like a little heart. But yo, man, if you trying to joke on like releasing your talent, I don't understand.
Again, on the eve of all these releases, seeing Bray Wyatt and everyone release, Bray Wyatt, if he has his 90-day contract clause, he would be able to kind of appear in AEW around Full Gear, which again would be another shocking thing. At this point, I think we're just recruiting everyone. What do you mean?
It's funny you said that, because the way I view it is the fact that I just feel like in its entirety, if you look at what Vince McMahon said, right, going off on his first part, I do agree with him. I don't see AEW as a WCW. Because WCW was really trying, Ted Turner and Eric Bischoff were really trying to gut the WWE. AEW is not trying to do that. AEW is trying to become the alternative. But in relation to Bray Wyatt,
in relation to Bray Wyatt, again, I think it's a mistake to let go of these people. The annual call that they have for these, you don't joke around with these. These are real. No. These are real investors. These are real meetings. And I don't think he meant it as a joke. I think Vince McMahon genuinely is trying to inspire confidence with his investors that, don't worry, the competition out there is not a big deal. We're fine. Internally, there has to be some concern. I actually do see them as WCW. And in fact, Ted Turner Ted Turner, I would say, had even less power than Tony Khan, because Ted Turner was reliant on Warner Media staying invested. And that's how we lost WCW. We didn't lose WCW because of bad ratings or bad booking. We lost them because WWE bought them out instead of someone else. And they didn't have a channel to go to. Tony Khan is a billionaire. He's worth over 6 times, 7 times more than Vince McMahon. This man owns the NFL Jaguars team. He owns the Fulham Football Club. He doesn't need anyone else in order to keep this going. He could just keep it going. I actually fear that they're making a big mistake by undermining how important AEW is. And it reminds me of 96, 97, when things started bubbling up for WCW. And, you know, if you let it bubble up too much, it gets scary.
And I'm so happy you said that, because if we look at the grand scheme of things, I feel like Vince sees Tony Khan as a money mark. And he sees him as just somebody. Legitimately, I see him just seeing as somebody just throwing money and saying, yeah, he can't buy up all the talent because he doesn't have that money. The problem with this situation is the fact that Tony Khan is a fan of the product. I don't feel like Vince McMahon has lost his passion when it comes to the business in its entirety. They don't see pro wrestling as pro wrestling. Vince doesn't like wrestling. He never liked the word wrestling. He always thought it was he never liked it. When it comes to the overall situation, though, Tony Khan understands that we need an alternative. Now, in regards to the talent going like with Bray Wyatt,
do you see Ace? Do you see Bray Wyatt going to AEW?
I do, and the reason why I say this is because we talked about it before. His 90-day clause ends up right around Full Gear. Right? Look what they've done to Malachi Black. Look what they've done to all these other guys coming back. It's no reason why there's so many people jumping ship.
That's great.
Because they have the freedom. So I feel like Vince is going to eat his words, and I think it's time.
I think there is something to be said. I won't say that Vince McMahon lost his passion. This man lives wrestling. He basically made wrestling mainstream. And I think there is something to be said about a fan running things, because again, I think WCW died because you don't have that. And there is something to be said about Tony Khan running things. I think Bray Wyatt has a good future ahead of him. He's obviously multi-talented. And I think, you know, if we are to look at him, let's keep in mind, if Bray Wyatt goes to AEW, he cannot be the Fiend. The Fiend is a WWE product. So, and in fact, the name Bray Wyatt is a WWE product. So Mr. Rotunda over here is going to have to come up with another name, another gimmick, and I don't know if he has it in him. I think he does, but this is where that's what WCW used to say. This is where the big boys play, and we'll see if he's able to continue it there.
We'll see what happens.
I actually think the Dark Order might welcome a new leader.
Hold on. We'll see.
Maybe.
There's so much endless possibilities for him.
There's a lot of possibilities. Someone else that has a lot of possibilities moving forward. We have the return of Sasha on SmackDown. Ace. Sasha came back, and she is back with a vengeance. She lost her title at WrestleMania to Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair went on a big press tour. She went on every TV show, on every sports show. She is the name to beat right now. And I don't think Sasha Banks is happy about it. She came out. You can never trust a happy Sasha. She came out, hugs. She saved her from a beatdown from Zelina Vega and Carmella, only to betray her at the end of their match. I think I am looking forward to this match. I'm looking forward to this feud. What do you make of it, Ace?
It's time for Bianca Belair to give up.
You're done with the Belair.
But it's done. And I'll tell you why I'm done. Because honestly, I look at Bianca Belair's run so far after WrestleMania, and it's been lukewarm. It's been very lukewarm. It legitimately, it's like I'm looking at a version of Sasha Banks 2.0. That's not what I want.
2.0 means an upgrade.
I mean, like a 1.0. Excuse me. Because legitimately, when Sasha Banks came back, that was the most I was excited for in the SmackDown Women's Division in a long time. Because Bianca Belair hasn't done anything.
Well,
she hasn't.
We've always said this. It takes two to tango, baby. And I don't know if Belair has the right competition in front of her. And now she does. You know, we lost Bayley. We lost Becky. We've lost, you know, Charlotte is taking on a superhero on Mondays. There's not much competition for them to go through.
But it's also that thing where it's I feel like it was too soon for Bianca Belair to win the title. And the reason why I say this because they did the exact same thing with Becky. They did the exact same thing with Sasha in the beginning. We gave her that title. She came out all happy. If you look at what Bianca does, she comes out. She still congratulates. Thank you guys so much. She holds the title. She smiles gleamingly. And then
wait, you don't like that?
No.
Okay, this is the problem with boys. And you're a boy. This is the problem with men. You guys want everyone to just be cool. You want everyone to come out and be like, yeah, I'm a badass. No, wrestling is supposed to be fun. Wrestling is supposed to bring in some of the telenovela aspects of things and the soap opera aspect of things. Okay. And you need happy people. Why do you want her to lose her biggest feature?
Because that's not her biggest feature. That's not what brought her to the dance.
It is. She won at WrestleMania.
It's not. If we go back to the buildup, you saw the sassiness, the way she presented herself, the way she's like, nah, you ain't know me. You don't know me. You don't go here. She started that with NXT with Charlotte Flair. That was her gimmick. Now she's coming out being all happy-go-lucky.
No, I get it. But I feel like Sasha...
It's not the same. The Bianca Belair we got last year is not the same Bianca Belair we see now.
So you have a problem with Bianca being happy.
I have a problem with Bianca. I have not Bianca herself, Bianca the character.
Okay,
Bianca the character that we saw down in NXT and what we saw on Monday Night Raw, that was a different Bianca than what we see now.
And what about Sasha? You know, Sasha just returned. Some people kind of said the same thing about her.
Sasha is the biggest superstar they have in the roster in the same. And I'm gonna say this. I think she's bigger than Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Period. She is the star power. So that's why I say a caliber like Sasha Banks, she deserves a title. Bianca,
you know why I'm staring without moving? Because you have lost your mind, Ace. Like,
sorry.
Roman Reigns has everyone eating. Finn Balor is eating now. Roman Reigns is
Finn Balor just got knocked by Baron Corbin.
And Baron, oh my God, we're about to talk about that. But oh my God, you are ridiculous if you think there's anyone bigger than Roman Reigns. The reason we are selling out Vegas is because of Roman Reigns. Sasha Banks is a very hot commodity. I think coming back will also elevate Bianca's stock, whether you like Bianca's character or not. But to say that Sasha Banks is so big, such a big feature of SmackDown, that she's bigger than Roman Reigns, it's a bit out there, man.
Sasha Banks is mainstream.
She is.
Sasha Banks is she's crossover. She's a crossover superstar. She was in The Mandalorian. She's huge, fam. Roman Reigns isn't there yet.
Roman Reigns was in Fast 9, baby.
Nobody remembers that.
He was in Shaw and Hobbs.
Nobody remembers that.
Okay, Roman Reigns was in Hobbs and Shaw. What do you mean nobody remembers that? Of course.
The only people who know that are wrestling fans.
Oh, and everyone remembers Sasha? Get out of here.
She was in The Mandalorian.
Okay, Sasha played such a small part in The Mandalorian.
A small part, and everybody was talking about her on Twitter.
And everyone was talking about Roman on Twitter.
Only the wrestling fans.
You have lost your mind.
Also, the fact that you have Hobbs and Shaw bigger than The Mandalorian, you're on crack, sir. You're on crack.
Well, one of them has been a franchise for 10 decades and sells out theaters, and the other one is a TV show. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You almost sound ridiculous like Baron Corbin. You know why? Because Baron Corbin can't catch a break. Baron Corbin just cannot catch a break. I don't know what's going on with it.
I agree with you, Ace. Baron Corbin is going through something, man. The man only gets 20. What did he say?
He used to get 20,000, but now he don't get nothing. Cause he broke, and that's why he got an attitude adjustment.
This man is going through something. He used to get $20,000 a week. He had money, he had cars, he had the life. He has nothing now. But I will say, this is the best Baron Corbin I have ever seen.
I agree.
Baron Corbin went for it, and he almost main evented SummerSlam after signing that contract.
Yeah. Baron Corbin, honestly, he reminds me of how R-Truth is so flexible when it comes to being on screen. The man can do no wrong. The man got the crown over, and he did a whole gimmick with that for a year, and he put that over. Now he was Baron Corbin end of days, and he was that big crazy monster.
You know what?
And
That's not a bad take. That's not a bad take.
That's what I'm saying. And now he's the oh woe is me character. My looks and down the drain, and it is. And I think Baron Corbin needs to give the benefit of the doubt because honestly, the more I view him, the more I feel like he could be the next Miz.
Your takes are weird, man. But I'm gonna recap. Baron Corbin has been suffering every week. We've seen him down and out. He's in the gutter, and this week he came out and once again, oh woe me. And he ended up being attacked by John Cena, a very heel move. He ended up coming out and attacking Finn Balor and tried to get himself into SummerSlam. And again, got beat up by John Cena. I think Baron Corbin is onto something. I think he's starting to get some sympathy from fans. And I actually am happy about the direction this is going.
I agree with you 100%. This is why I feel like Baron Corbin is reminding me of The Miz, because you give him something and it's going to make it look and feel amazing. It's hard to argue with somebody who gets it, and Baron Corbin just gets it.
I think Baron Corbin gets it. I actually like that take. You're right. Not a lot of people can get, and again, that's something that made Bray Wyatt special. Wrestlers like The Miz, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, they make things work. And I think Baron Corbin is finding his niche right now, and I love it. I think it's good stuff. But Ace, it is that time. We are getting there. We are talking about the question of the week, Ace. All right, the question of the week this week. Bray Wyatt is out of the WWE. What is your favorite Bray Wyatt moment?
Whew. Okay, so there's a lot. There's a lot that I can go back in the storied history of Bray Wyatt. But to me, the best moment, the best match, the best moment, however you want to call it. I know we said best moment, but to me, the best moment was Bray Wyatt versus John Cena in the Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania. That match to this day, in my opinion, is the best cinematic match. Okay. I think it was so great. I think that was when it was peak Bray Wyatt, and it was so good. It worked. And the character worked. Everything was good. It was during the pandemic era, so they were pushing the boundary, pushing the envelope. It was good. It was a good times, man. And
there's a long list, man. Bray Wyatt once entered the Miz's house and terrorized his family. This man terrorized Randy Orton in the House of Horrors. This man went one-on-one against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's true. This man terrorized John Cena even before then. And he used to freak him out, man.
With Daniel Bryan too.
And to me, a big reason why Daniel Bryan catapulted his career was because of Bray Wyatt. I will say, you're right. More than matches, I think he's created a lot of moments. And to me, the first time that he ever came out and you saw everyone's cell phones up, phenomenal. But even a step up beyond that, the first time that The Fiend debuted at SummerSlam 2019, you cannot top that. One of the most shocking debuts I've ever seen.
Agreed. No, you are 100% right, man. This is why it's still I can't wrap my head around why they would let this one
why would you let this go?
Like I just don't understand. I legitimately don't understand. But you there, those of you who are watching, what is your favorite Bray Wyatt moment? What is your favorite Bray Wyatt match? Let us know in the comments below. And while you are down there, be sure to like and subscribe to Roger Talks Wrestling. Make sure you hit the little beep bell button so you get all the notifications when a new episode is uploaded. And not only that, when you are driving in the shower, going to the gym, gonna go see Bray Wyatt. Well, you can't do that anymore. Going to go see AEW, going to the Allstate Arena, going to Arthur Ashe, wherever you are doing, you make sure that you can listen to this show on anywhere you get your podcast. That is Apple Music, Google Play, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever the hell you get your podcast. We are available there. So take us on the journey and listen to our sweet, sultry voices while we talk to you every week about the weekly finisher.
Always with the help of our lovely producer, Lesley, behind the scenes. Thank you guys for joining us once again. We'll see you next week, guys.
Peace.
Bye.